This is Jonathan Aggie, your fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Ben Shalom. Ben, Happy New Year. How are you?
I'm very well. I obviously went back to Manchester. Good to have a good break. Good to be back with the family. Not been back to Manchester pretty much all year. So spent a good 2 weeks there, and yeah, loved it. But it's so excited to be back. So excited to be in Sheffield this weekend. Great to be at the press conference today and ready to go for a massive 2025. It's you miss it, and it's a bit of a drug. So yeah, really delighted with the schedule to look forward to, and I'm ready to go.
Just quickly on this week, you've obviously got Callum Simpson in action and Caroline Dubois. Give the fans a bit of a preview of what to expect this week.
Look, Callum's been a revelation for us. We knew he could fight. We knew he was dedicated. We knew he had everything to go to the top. But the fan base that he's created is one of the biggest now in British boxing. He did 7,000 tickets in 24 hours in August. Then wanted the bigger test. The biggest test domestically is possibly Steed Woodall. Mark Jeffers aside. Steed Woodall's coming off the back of a huge knockout against Lerone Richards. This is a big test. It sold out weeks ago in Sheffield. It's going to be a fantastic event on Saturday. But Callum Simpson's got all the pressure on him because he has got the momentum now. He has got the fan base. He's got Sky Sports behind him. He's headlining. Steed Woodall's coming in as his big opportunity. Always struggled with UK promoters, Steve. Spent a lot of time in the US, but a very, very good fighter. And he's been on my show once before where he beat Boris Crichton. He's now here off the back of a great performance against Lerone Richards. So it's a tough test for Callum. A lot of pressure on him, especially after what he's been through in the past few months, and credit to him for coming in and taking this fight. Caroline Dubois returns as first time as a world champion, a WBC world champion, and been a long time coming against Jessica Camera, who's number one in the BA, I think number one in the BO as well. Really tough fighter, really good fighter. Chance for Caroline to show what she's all about. For me, still the future of women's boxing, still going to be a huge face in women's sport generally, and yeah, it's going to be a big show in Sheffield.
Adam Azim against Sergey Lipinets. Is it easier, the man behind you, Shane McGuigan, he's sort of, got Josh Taylor to the top, guiding his career. Is it easy to navigate Adam Azim when you've got someone like Shane who's done it before?
You know what it is? You're getting the right information from the gym. It's so hard when certain fighters might be in camp, so you don't trust the information you're getting, and you don't know exactly how their camp's going. You don't know what's being fed to you. You don't know what niggles they have. You don't know how they're managing the camp. As a promoter, you do not want to be worried about how they're training, what they're eating, what times they're in the gym, are they focused, where they're at mentally. All these things is the last thing you want to be thinking about as a promoter, but unfortunately you find yourself genuinely in moments thinking about these things when you shouldn't be. The McGuigans are a class act, they're an example to everyone, and every fighter that I have with them, Chris Smith, Caroline Dubois, Adam Azim, even look at Lee Cutler, what he did in December. It's a great gym, but as a promoter, it's the information that you get which allows you to make the right fights, which allows you to know where they're at, and it translates itself in the ring, and the fighters always come in with a lot of confidence, and of course it's a pleasure to work with because you're confident every single time.
You've got an open line of conversation now with Eddie Hearn. Does that make a Dalton Smith fight likely this year if he comes through on February 1st? Or do you want to keep building that into a bigger fight?
I think it's just as likely as it was, in fairness. Although Eddie probably hated me at the time, it wasn't a hard one. I think it's going to happen this year, I do. But we're discussing loads of fights, and it's good. And so it's good, just good to have the line of communication open, be speaking, and 2025 looks to be a big one.
Right, so obviously you have been talking about Eubank Ben. Around 4 weeks ago you said, if it's not done now, it's probably never going to get done, but have we progressed since then? Where are you in discussions?
I think it's going to happen as long as no one does something stupid. We're in the home stretch now. It's like the final 100 metres, and as long as someone doesn't do something crazy, it should get over the line. but it has to be now because Lara's lined up. Even terms all outlined. No one wants to wait around, and everything's ready to go. We know where it's going to be hosted. We know it's going to be in the UK. Pretty much everything, the framework that is there, and now it's just about getting it over the line. And I've just said on another interview, probably, that I think it gets done. I don't want to come across overconfident because anything can happen. It's been a grueling process because you've got two real, not just rivalries now, but just a painful not wanting to give each other anything. But yeah, I'm confident that it will get done.
According to Eddie, you've been speaking pretty much every day about the fight and stuff. What's that been like? You know, is it different to sort of maybe a month or two ago when you kind of just started speaking?
You know what it is? It's just when you get over that. When you start to realise, or someone's attitude change where they're not just trying to fuck you every single second, then it just becomes easy, and then you can talk all the time, and as long as you have respect for each other's position and what they're doing and this and that, then it works really well. And fair play to him. I think he's matured, and yeah, it's good.
Any talk of a 5v5 between you two?
I think so. I think maybe September time. I think there's a few fights that need to just grow a little more, and then the opportunity, I think, will be there.
Lastly, Liam Cameron's come out and said that his team offered you guys the Ben Whittaker fight, but you want it on a boxer show. What's the latest with that? Is it going to happen?
I mean, it's half the story, or not even a half the story. It's nothing. We were asked to put an offer in by his manager. We did, and then we were asked for money that would get it done, and we were told explicitly in writing what money we needed to put up, and then we offered that money. So for us, it was done. Ben's going to fight in April in the Midlands. It's up to them. We don't want to play games. If they want it, they've got the offer that they want it. If they don't want it, we'll move on.
Just lastly on Ben Eubank, I appreciate you're close to a deal and you probably don't want to say too much, but do you have a date and probably a stadium reserved?
Yes.
Okay. Is it going to be Tottenham?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. Ben, appreciate your time.
Cheers, mate.